Hey everyone, welcome back to For the Record. I have no notes. I just want to talk briefly. I don't know how brief it's going to be, but I want to talk about the highly anticipated Netflix movie about Motley Crue called The Dirt. If you haven't heard of it or seen it, I highly recommend watching it. It's truly entertaining. Um, it's some great acting, and I couldn't imagine. Excuse me. I couldn't imagine the task of sort of taking a 30 plus year um, career of a band and sort of condense it down to like 2 hours. I couldn't imagine that task, but I, you know, I know that they can't put everything in the film, but they hit some good points. They kind of hit some important points in the film, kind of like the rise and fall and rise of Motley Crue, and I thought they did a fairly good job. I can't say I have any complaints. Um, and again, I didn't make any notes. I didn't write anything down. I've watched it like 3 times, and excuse me, and I just want to kind of talk briefly of my history of the band, how much I respect the band. Excuse me, I just had a little dinner. I've actually really enjoyed, or I've enjoyed the music since the early '80s, probably since the beginning, and I miraculously have um, the original pressings of their first albums. And I don't know how or why they survived for so long, but I've started listening to them again. They've kind of been on the shelf for a while, and with the movie coming out, I kind of been listening to them again, and it's nice that they're still in good shape. But anyway, like I said, I've liked the band since the early '80s, since they first came out. I've had their tapes, I've had all their CDs, and now I have their
Absolutely nothing. The first thing you know, you'll.
now I have their actual records. Hold on one second. I you know I lost track of their music in the '90s. I know there was a point where Tommy Lee had left, um, and Vince Neil eventually left, and then finally they got back together with Generation Swine, and that's actually one album I don't have. I'd love to own that, and as far as I know, it was never pressed on vinyl, but I'd like to get it on CD. Um, I've loved the music through the years, and when they did this movie, I was so excited to see it, because you hear the stories, and the backstage antics with Motley Crue, bunch of some stories with Ozzy and stuff, and to kind of put that in the film, it's really kind of neat, because well, first off, they did a really good job. I thought they did, and um, certainly the movie is not. It's not for anybody under the age of 21. I'll say that. If you haven't seen it and you see it, it's the first 5 to 10 minutes of it. That's pretty much how the movie is. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and Motley Crue definitely. How they came out alive. I mean, Nikki Sixx, through the years he died, and he came back and hit rock bottom, and hit rock bottom again after he shot up again shortly after dying, and only being brought back to life by paramedics. It's amazing to see that they're still alive today. Mick Mars too, as sick, MS I think is what he's got, and unfortunately they aren't touring anymore, but they actually are, from what I understand. And again, I'm kind of going all over the place here, because I'm really excited about the movie. It was great, and I just kind of want to get my voice out there about the band, and about my the history with the band that I have, and how much I love the music, and the movie, of course, The Dirt. But they aren't touring anymore. Supposedly, 2015 was their last, the last hurrah. And but they actually there were two new songs on the Netflix film The Dirt. There were two new songs and then two cover songs. And they supposedly, what I read was, they're actually working on a new album. How far along is unclear, but they are working on a new album. And because their last the last album, Saints of Los Angeles, which I actually have, it's actually really good. Actually, let me pull it off the shelf. Right here, Saints of Los Angeles. Okay. I'm drawing a blank. I want to say 2008. I want to say 2008, Saints of Los Angeles. This is actually a really good album. But supposedly, as I said, they are actually working on a new album. And that's just going to be fucking awesome. I hope it's got to be pressed on vinyl. But that's sort of my my crazy video about Motley Crue and The Dirt. Great film. It's sad to know what the band had gone through. Like I said, the movie kind of picked what I felt, important parts of the career of Motley Crue. Now you can't possibly take, a 30+ year career of a band, of four huge, like, just what a big band, and how fast they made it to the top, and then they crumbled down. You can't possibly take their career and their entire career and put it into our film. So I thought they did pretty good, hitting important points, like when Vince Neil got into that car accident and killed his best friend, Izzy, or I can't remember his name, but and then his daughter had cancer and she had died. So it kind of hit important points of the life of Motley Crue, and in the crazy antics, and was there more? There was. I mean, I'm sure there was much more, but you couldn't try. You couldn't even attempt to put all of that into our film. But I thought, like I said, they did a really good job putting the film The Dirt together, and I highly recommend it. And that's really it. Not really much more to talk about. I did want to touch on a few other things, but I think I'm going to keep this to just about Motley Crue right now. And I'm going to do a few other videos this week or this weekend. And again, if you haven't seen The Dirt, definitely, if you don't have Netflix, I mean, get a friend who has Netflix and watch it. I mean, even if you signed up for Netflix for a month and then got rid of it, definitely recommend. If you're a Motley Crue fan, I really think you'll enjoy the film. And this I've had this for fucking years. This is a little handbag I have in my room. It's a little Motley Crue designer handbag. Kind of neat. I got that at a yard sale like 10-15 years ago, probably closer to 18 years ago. But anyway, but that's it. The Dirt, definitely go see it, or definitely see it, and or wait for it to come out on DVD or whatever. But I hope everybody has a good week, and as always, be kind to others, and we'll see you on the flip side.